But one of those who signed the pledge is standing by his promise. Senator Ron Johnson is a member of the Budget Committee. He joins us right now. And Senator, thanks for being here.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Great. You know, Senator, we've been following all of these negotiations, as the market has, turning on every single bit of information that comes out. You say that you would not go along with any idea to raise those marginal tax rates. Why is that?
Well, Becky, because everything we should be doing here should be concentrating on economic growth, because that's 10 times more effective. Let me give you a couple numbers. Even with this very meager recovery that we've had, revenue has increased to the federal government by $344 billion per year. If we just return to a normal economy like we had in 2007, and one of those policies of George Bush, where we had 18.5% of our economy come into the federal government as revenue, that would be another $419 billion. So combined, that'd be $750 billion per year of additional revenue. Now, President Obama's proposal of punishing success, it's hard to say exactly what it's going to be, but somewhere around $75 billion. It's a tenth of what we get with economic growth. And the problem with punishing success, with increasing marginal tax rates, or really increasing taxes scored statically, is you put at risk that growth that is 10 times more effective. So again, I'm just looking at what works. We need to calm the markets. I don't want to play brinksmanship. It's really unfortunate that the president really isn't negotiating in good faith. He's just moving the goalposts.
Although, Senator, the lead story in the Wall Street Journal, or one of the lead stories on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, is about how the president may be relaxing that position. He may not insist on returning to the pre-Bush tax cut rates for those wealthiest 2% or whatever the situation may be. Now, that may not mean that he's not looking for some increase in the marginal rate on those people, but if he steps down from that, would that be a position? Because again, when you're reaching across, do you believe in any sort of compromise on this, or are you not going to give on that no matter what?
Well, again, what we should be compromising on is exactly how do we reform our tax code, simplify it dramatically so we can recover the $200 to $300 billion of compliance costs. Pro-growth tax reform, where you actually, if possible, lower marginal tax rates by broadening the base, eliminate. Listen, I'm all for elimination of special deals, even without doing anything.
Are you for Simpson-Bowles?
The problem with Simpson-Bowles, it doesn't address the main driver of our debt, which is a healthcare problem.
But would you be for everything else that's in Simpson-Bowles to get us to the point where you can talk about the healthcare issues?
Listen, there's some pretty good parts of Simpson-Bowles. I mean, a structured approach to how you actually save Social Security, that's a good thing. There's certainly some spending restraints.
What do you not like in Simpson-Bowles? Because that's the problem. Everybody has something they don't like in it.
Well, no, in terms of the way they approach taxes, unfortunately, they, on a static basis, required increased revenue, and that's not an effective way of increasing revenue. Listen, I'm a small business guy that had to make those capital equipment investment decisions. When you increase the marginal tax rate, or if you limit deductions to those.
Simpson-Bowles lowers it to 28%. It raises things like capital gains and dividends to 28% along with ordinary income, but it lowers the overall rate to 28%.
Understand, but in exchange for lowering those rates, it did try and increase revenue by over $1 trillion on a static basis. And again, I think the way you increase revenue is the old-fashioned way, by growing your economy. It works far more effectively.
The question is, can we grow our economy like we have in the past? Because you mentioned 2007. Some people question whether or not that was actually a normal year, or if that was a big bubble of the housing bubble still changing the way the economy ran up. You're right that 18.5% of GDP is historically what we can bring in revenue numbers. But over the last 5 years, over the last 4 years, we've run about $5 trillion in deficits. That's a huge number. You have to find some way to change that, and we have not gotten back to any sort of growth, even with all the stimulus that's been put into the system.
It's because all that borrowing has scared consumers, it's scared business investors. So what you really need is, President Obama ran on a balanced plan. Okay, he won. So maybe the reality is some tax rates are going to go up, but the problem with that, Becky, is our deficit last year was $1,090 billion large.
Right.
President Obama's tax increases, punishing success, were raised $75 billion. So, my point to President Obama is, where's the other part of your balanced plan? How are you going to restrain, or how are you going to close the additional $1 trillion worth of deficit?
Well, you want to see entitlements tackled too, right? You want to see some spending cuts and some entitlements tackled. And if that were the case, would you then go along with a higher marginal tax rate on the richest and wealthiest Americans?
Listen, what I'm not going to do is answer hypotheticals or negotiate here on the set. What we need to do is see the president's plan. I've done enough negotiations in business to understand who's negotiating in good faith, who's moving the goalposts. I think it's time right now for President Obama to show the American people his full balanced plan. We haven't seen it. Democrats haven't passed a budget in over 3 years. There's not one Democrat that has voted for a plan yet. Until Republicans see the plan from the president, from Democrats, it's very difficult for us to be compromising with anything. Right now, we're just negotiating with ourselves. That's really a pretty bad negotiating strategy. We should stop doing that. We should be talking about not playing brinkmanship. What we really should do is we should extend all the current rates permanently. That would return certainty to the economy. It would restore confidence, and that's probably the biggest thing we need to do to grow our economy. Let's quit having these fiscal cliffs. Let's not be threatening government shutdowns. Let's sit down in a good faith effort. And that's what President Obama is not doing. He's back on the campaign trail, which is unfortunate. He should be in Washington here, sitting down in a good faith effort to try and grow the economy, because that's 10 times more effective.
Senator, what are the odds you think that we actually reach an agreement before January 1st?
Well, I mean, that's just hard to say. Listen, there are enough Republicans that are showing a willingness, and I'm certainly willing to sit down with anybody who's willing to negotiate in good faith. So my guess is we probably will get this solved in some way, shape, or form. I just hope it's not done in a way that actually harms the economy. That's what I'm concerned about right now. But again, it'll start with the president showing us what his balanced plan is. How are you going to restrain the growth of government? How are you going to save the entitlement programs? He's acknowledged that he has to do that, but now Democrats are taking that off the table.
But Senator, as you said yourself, it's probably not the way to do it, to negotiate either on television or in front of everybody. That's probably happening behind the scenes, right?
No, Becky, that's not negotiating. That's called putting your plan on the table. Republicans have passed 2 budgets. We have a bipartisan plan to save Medicare. We've passed cut, cap, and balance. The Democrats have shown us nothing other than how they're going to increase taxes by about $75 billion when economic growth will return $750 billion.
Ron, try that line. Here's the pen. I'll sign it if you've passed some things. Say, I got a pen I can lend you, Mr. President, for that pen that you have that will sign the. I like the. I'm not going to, I didn't really say anything to him, let him have the floor. I mean, I guess I could say what he said, but 75 billion. We're doing backflips about 75 billion. We got $1 trillion problem, but that's all you hear. The people behind him nodding, yeah. 75 billion out of $1 trillion. That's all we're talking about, and no interest in talking about anything else.
And they take entitlement reform off the table. They're taking it off the table. I mean, the labor leaders were just pleased when they left the White House. So we've got to see their plan. President Obama, show us your plan. Show the American people your plan.
Senator, thank you.
Thank you.